अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha early morning session. May I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज अरविंद प्रभु हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Arvindaksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your association every single day. Welcome to the call.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji. I'm Archana Raghav from Hyderabad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Archana Raghav Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining from Hyderabad. Is this the first time you are joining, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. I attend your sessions in the evening, but this is the first time I'm attending right now at 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Hare
Bhagavatam
Krishna.
class. Yes,
Welcome,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much.
So
Thank you,
you
Mataji.
attend mid-morning classes, huh? Chaitanya Bhagavat you join, Mataji?
Mataji, I attend your sessions, which happens in India in the evening at around 8 o'clock or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is Chaitanya Bhagavat. Yeah, yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago, Belgium.
Hare Krishna Yashumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and all glories to your wonderful services to the group. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. And very nice chanting with Balavrinda. This is Anita Ramya from Sharda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Anita Ramya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for your sweet words and all glories to your wonderful services to the group. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devdasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call. I think Prabhuji joined. JP is that one, I think, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Jagannatha Priya Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 9th chapter, 19th verse. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I request Anita Mataji to take over the call from here and give a brief introduction of Jagannath Priya Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Hare Bol. So today's speaker is Jagannath Priya Prabhu. His Grace Jagannath Priya Prabhu is a practicing monk, is a speaker on Vedic literature, including the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, and Mahabharata. He has a distinct focus on the practical application of religion and spirituality on both individual and social levels. Academically, Prabhuji has obtained a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and holds dual masters in Sanskrit and yoga philosophy. He is also a research scholar at IIT Mumbai. Before embarking on his monastic journey, he served as the director of special effects for films and television. For the past 25 years, he has dedicated his life to the holistic development of the spiritual community in Mumbai and Thane. He is board member of ISKCON Thane and is also associated with Bhakti Center, New York. And Prabhuji assists in several congregations in different parts of the world as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. This is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. All glories to Prabhuji's wonderful services. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for that brief introduction. Thank you for your service. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, are you there? We don't see you connected to video, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay.
I think Prabhuji is talking. We cannot hear a word.
Yeah, his network maybe, Mataji. I think he disconnected. I mean,
Yes,
he
yes.
will join back maybe. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Sorry,
Hare Krishna.
my camera just off last minute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please
Hare
accept
Krishna.
the
Can you hear me?
all. Yes, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your wonderful services, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for joining this early morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 9th chapter, 19th verse, Prabhuji. Over to you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. I'm just logging in my computer. There was an issue with the computer last second, so I had to log on my phone. I'm just logging it again on the computer.
Okay, Prabhuji, sure, we can
Just
wait
one
for
second.
1 minute.
Can you see me?
No, Prabhuji. You can do one thing, Prabhuji. You can use a phone for the camera and then voice for that. if you would
Okay, let me
like
do
to
that. Yeah.
remove that. Yeah, two devices. You can mute one device, like volume you can remove so that it won't echo.
Okay. So can you see us?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, we can see you and hear you clearly.
There is no echo from your side, right? At your end?
No, no, no. It's good. It's perfect.
Okay. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवमांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 9 from the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, text number 19. Asuranam sudhadanam sarpanam iva durnayam matva jati nrisham sanam natam vibhajadachyutah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Demons are by nature crooked like snakes. Therefore, to distribute a share of the nectar to them was not at all feasible, since this would be as dangerous as supplying milk to a snake. Considering this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who never falls down, did not deliver a share of nectar to the demons. Purport. It is said, Sarpaha kruraha khalaha, kruraha sarpat krurat taraha khalaha. The snake is very crooked and envious, and so also is a person like a demon. Mantra ushadhi vashaha sarpaha khalaha kena nivaryate. One can bring a snake under control with mantras, herbs, and drugs, but an envious and crooked person cannot be brought under control by any means. Considering this logic, the Supreme Personality of Godhead thought it unwise to distribute the nectar to the demons. Hare Krishna. So, this is a very interesting concept in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which happens to come here in the 8th canto, where a very unique phenomena is seen that Vishnu, who does not tolerate the presence of demons, he always takes avatar, he appears again and again just to destroy the presence of Vishnu, the Asuras, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, for establishing Dharma, he repeats. He continuously comes again and again in different avatars. So this Vishnu right now is seeing all the different Asuras who are present. And if he wanted, he could have killed all of them at one go. It was not a big deal. But yet, he does not do so. Now, this brings a very important question. If Narayan or Vishnu is appearing again and again in various avatars, he is encouraging those who are following on the path of dharma to destroy adharma. So as a Brahmana, you will destroy adharma through your words and your actions. As a Kshatriya, you will destroy adharma through administration or war, killing, which whatever is necessary. As a Vaishya, you will destroy adharma by not cheating. And as a Shudra, you will destroy adharma by only serving those who are dharmic people. So now this dictum is spoken by Vishnu himself through his various avatars. But now this is the beginning of creation where Asuras and Devatas have both assembled to extract the first meritorious or meaningful thing from this universe. So, in the modern times, we may not value nectar because we think that we have the nectar of our little bit of our homes and our cars and our jobs or little bit facilities which we have. But in the beginning of creation, when nothing had taken shape, all forms of divine enjoyment and pleasure was then through all these gifts which were appearing through the Samudra Manthan. And we see here that Devatas and Asuras have gathered for Samudra Manthan and newer things are coming up. So it's not that the Manthan was just a few minutes of thing. One of the item would appear and then for a long time, for several years, the Manthan would take place. Then another item would come. Then the Manthan would take, then another item would come, and so on. So now when the nectar comes, both the Devatas and the Asuras, the demons and the Devatas, they realize that this is something which is a game changer. So far you had Uchchaishrava, Airavat, the elephants and horse and Parijat and all these kind of things which are coming, which are obviously divine. But like in the whole plethora of so many gifts, this one gift of this divine nectar can become a game changer and topple the entire power. The shift of power would take place. And therefore, both of them got extremely desperate to have the nectar. And this is where Mohini Murti appears to take control. Now, you must have already heard about this, that Asuras and Devatas both were the children of the same father, coming from Kashyapa Rishi, and but from different mothers. So the Asuras were the children of Aditi, and the Asuras were the children of Diti, and the Sura or the Devatas were the children of Aditi. So, being the children of Aditi, who is the daughter of Aditya, and she was very integral in her life, in her approach. Therefore, the name is Aditi, means undivided. Undivided in what sense? Uh, Means integrated. Whatever she would do as a mother, as a wife, whatever she would demand, whatever she would execute, everything was dharma based. And Diti means divided. Whatever action she would perform, which it would split dharma or it would be separate from dharma. So that's why this name also has a metaphorical approach, meaning to it. So one time Diti had expressed desire to unite with her husband Kashyap during the Sandhya Kal. It is explained that during any of the sandhyas, one should not engage in a physical union. But also it is mentioned in the scriptures that if the wife approaches the husband with an intense desire to engage, then the husband must oblige. He must oblige to the best capacity. So Kashyap, knowing very well that this is not the appropriate time, anything of this sort which is done in Sandhya Kal is going to bring about a disruption in the whole order. Now, Kashyap was also one of the Prajapatis or the original progenitors of mankind. The one amongst the original, along with Daksha and so many others, mm, to bring forth the creation. So in his mind, he's also knowing that this, although he's knowing that this is a wrong time, he also understands that uh, this must be some divine order in play, because why am I, who is a rishi or a muni? So rishis and munis are those people who understand the application of dharma very nicely. And to such a person, there is this dharma sankat which comes, that how to now deal with this particular issue. So therefore, considering that there is some divine plan in action, he engages, and immediately after engagement, he also then does his sandhya and whatever purificatory processes are necessary. So he does that, knowing well that this is going to create a disruption. So asuras were born. So this concept of Varna Sankar is not just when there is an unnatural mixing of genetic codes, but it is also an improper conception at improper time and so on. So Kashyapa Rishi realizes this and goes back again to tapasya, trying to figure out what is the Lord's plan. Now here, if the Lord wanted, he could have killed, but he does not do that. So one thing we learn that not all, in the grand scheme of things, even asuras have a role to play in this creation. Even the negative elements have a role to play in life. Now I'll give you a very simple example. While the introduction was being done, I understand that most of you, it appeared, are from Indian origin. Some are right now in India. Some are in US. Now, if you have spent about 10, 15 years in America, then I'm sure you must have come across this, that when you try to tell your children about trying to live with simplicity or trying to explain some things, you would be telling your children, you know what, we struggled so much in India, things were not so easy. You are getting things easily. You have no idea how much it takes. And even to explain things to our children, just because they haven't seen or experienced negativity, they cannot fully appreciate the positivity. But now, since you are striving to remove all elements of negative things in your life, it is natural that they will never understand the fullest, they'll never fully understand what value of the positive things they are already having. So, similarly, even in the whole creation, if there were no asuras, then it would be different. It would be difficult for ordinary people to appreciate the devatas also. And also, it would be difficult for the devatas to appreciate the presence of Vishnu. If the asuras were weaker than the devatas would no longer feel the need of Vishnu himself. There are many elements in the creation which are negative in nature, but they have their role, just as the darkness. Technically speaking, all the dark things happen during the dark time only. So maximum amount of theft happens in the darkness. All the illicit activities happen in the darkness. There is so much fun and pleasure engaging in breaking the regulative principles in the midnight time, drink and party and all that stuff. During noontime, nobody likes to drink. Even a drunkard does not like to drink during the noontime. So it's always after sunset, or the more darker it becomes, the more fun and pleasure it becomes. Why? Because Prakriti is filled with tamas at that time. So then tamas also has a role to play. The world cannot just simply survive on sattva. So this duality, dvandva, is an essential element which we learn in the Vedic literatures. But it has a purpose. Because it is essential, that does not mean that we can justify our negative tendencies. That's not the point. But our negative tendencies also help us to fight or define uh, where we need to be careful. Now I'll tell you something. In my journey of life, I have seen that when devotees also, when they are able to do their devotional service pretty much peaceful and calmly, when they have conquered the basic struggles with eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, when those things become a bit more regulated, when the seva becomes regulated and all that, sometimes they become very callous. Okay, I figured it out all, and it's not much difficult. I can enjoy. Then they become very relaxed in the sattva guna. And once that happens, then the neglect happens with the chanting, the neglect happens with the reading, because I have already heard all these stories so many times, I've understood it so many times. I'm a good preacher, I have a good community, I have 100, 200, 500,000, whatever people under me, and so on. So person thinks that I am the Bhagwan, I am the Ishwar. That kind of mentality just creeps in. And as soon as that creeps in, then a person starts making offenses. Everything is fine, but now he or she starts feeling more envious about someone else, more greedy to hold on to power, and so on. Why? This happens only when the reading and when the sadhana weakens. Now, I'm not saying that the reading and sadhana done regularly is always beneficial. Of course, regularly it will always give value, but it has to be done attentively even when you do it regularly. Ritualistically attending Bhagavatam class every single day, ritualistically reading one or two paragraphs every single day, it will add some agyat sukruti, but it will not create a spiritual character. A person will always be weak. So this is what I meant to say, that over a period of time, many times devotees also become very ritualistic in the process. Although it's a spiritual process, we become ritual in the process. So very professionally doing means externally can do it very nice, but internally cannot absorb and cannot absorb with the whole purport or meaning of it. In Sanskrit, in the 10th chapter, I think in the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, this verse comes, Machit madagata prana bodhayantasya parasparam. What Krishna is saying? Bodha. That when two devotees meet each other, and bodhayantasya parasparam, speaking about Krishna not just for the sake of speaking and just telling, oh, I heard this lecture, these 2 points were given, these 4 points given, I spoke this, he spoke that, I read a new book. No, not it. That is not uh, conversing about Krishna. Conversing about Krishna should be with bodha. Bodha means a proper, matured understanding. Just like when you tell your children something and if they are listening to you, now you know that he has heard very carefully, but then you do say that. Have you understood what I'm trying to say? Did you clearly understand what I said? Arey, I heard it 3 times. Why are you repeating it, mommy? No, tell me you understood it very clearly. And then he said, yes, I understood. Then he said, okay, what did you understand? So this repetition is nothing but, or this exercise which you do with your kids or whoever, friends sometimes, is nothing but to figure out whether he has fully grasped the purport of what you are saying. That is what is called as bodha. So when Krishna says bodhayantascha paraspara means someone who has understood the purport or the meaning of it properly. And that understanding and the meaning is not in the third party sense, is in the personal sense. So when we read the stories of Bhagavatam, of Kunti, Parikshit, Dhruva, it's not that Parikshit threw a snake on the Rishi. Of course, he threw it on Shamika Rishi. But the point we learn is not a third party thing. Oh, see, Parikshit did this and therefore he was punished. Yudhishthir did this, there was Bhishma did this, therefore he did. Bhagavatam is speaking about third person or other characters for us to put us in their place and then evaluate the situation. So it's a deep psychological analysis. It's not interested like a gossip thing. अरे उसने क्या किया, इसने क्या किया. What did she do? What did he do? It's not about that. It's not about Gajendra and Indradumna or the crocodile. That's not. Otherwise, there is no meaning. It is like watching some supernatural story, fairy tale story. Bhagavatam is not for that at all. Through these stories, we are going to make these stories look into our own hearts. Through these stories, we are going to look into our own hearts and evaluate. So here also, when the Asuras and the Devtas is discussed, it's a story which has happened. But how is it relevant today? First of all, in the translation, it says that demons are by nature crooked like snakes. Why? Because snake is basically an envious person. In the purport, the first line, Sarpaha kruraha khala. Definitely, Sarpaha is krura. Khala means a certainty. Definitely. Kruraha sarpat, but even more than the sarpa or the snake, krura taraha, one who is more cruel, is or is this demons. Means they are not to be trusted because they are very, very crooked. So this is even for us. When a person becomes envious, that means he's acquiring a demoniac quality. When you think someone is doing better than you, has more better things than you, and you feel envious, that means we are the sarpa or we are sitting in the line of asuras thinking that I also now deserve nectar. Why? Because I'm superficially following the process of devotional service. But if my mentality is of the demon, I'll be put to sit in the row of demons, like what Mohini did. He said, okay, both of you are quarreling for the adhikar. What was the adhikar of the asuras and the suras? Both of them said that we fought equally for the nectar to come. If we were not standing on the other side for the churning, then there would be no churning happening for that matter. So we also deserve this nectar. Suras said, we also deserve. So Mohini made both of them sit in separate rows. And ultimately, because we already know the story, that how the nectar was distributed to the devatas. But through this, we understand this thing, that even though we may think that I have churned something for a ritual in a ritualistic manner, some mantra or nectar has come, so therefore I deserve it. But if I have envious mentality, Krishna himself will appear, Mohini himself will herself appear and make you sit in the row of demons, and you may be wanting to get it, but you won't get it. Try as you may. You may be able to grab your position, your power, your prestige and honor, which is on fake grounds, but you won't get the actual rasa from it. And this is why we have seen that when a person is very envious or crooked by nature, even when they have acquired some position and power, they are still very rude, they are still very insecure, they are still very judgmental about other people, other things all the time. Even when you are at the top, you cannot be peaceful. Why? Because that is a proof. It's a proof that you have got this position out of wickedness or crookedness. A person who gets a position or power by the natural efforts is happy and satisfied with the position and is happy and satisfied even if the position is taken away or not there. Why? Because in either case, he is not envious or he is not lusty for the power. So this is a very important lesson which we try to learn here. In the whole pastime, you will see that when the various items were being gifted away, So the Asuras had this idea, we want this, we want that. And Mohini did not come that time. Vishnu did not interfere because he understands that some negative element, some negativity in the world must be there to counteract the ego of the Devatas. If there is no negative things, then the Devatas will only start considering that we are God, nobody is challenging us, nobody can challenge us, and maybe we are the absolute truth. That will happen. And to keep check on them also, the Asuras are there. So in our own lives, when we have negative or negative situations, instead of looking at them from a Ghrina perspective or from a perspective that why is such a situation in my life, and trying to have an extreme level of rejection or disgust about that situation, or let's say a person or something. Instead, we could put this perspective that, okay, Vishnu had accommodated the demons as well. So in my little bit association, there may be some people whom I am uncomfortable with, but let me accommodate them in a certain manner. Not that I may sit with them in the same row. He or she does not belong to my league or my style of functioning. To keep a peaceful environment, let me keep distance, but let me give a respectful honor or accommodation to such person. Because in the journey of spirituality amongst devotees also, it's not that somebody is truly a demon as such. But yeah, the demonic propensities are there in all of us to lesser or greater degree. It's there as such. Nobody can say that I have no demonic propensity. It's not true. We have some demonic propensities. So, considering that when we are accommodating someone else and someone else's shortcomings, you are not actually accommodating them. You are accommodating your own shortcomings in a very subtle way. So that's very essential to develop a character. Only those people who can develop such a character, then they are going to sit with Krishna or be part of going to Vaikuntha or Golokunda. This is precisely the reason why when Kashyap knows very well, he's a rishi, if he wanted, he could have killed his own wife Diti. Every now and then we hear in scriptures rishis cursing or eliminating some person just with mantras. He could have done that. And if he was willing to handle the karma of mating in the Sandhya Kal, then he could have actually even dealt with the karma of eliminating Diti, or even not actually engaging in physical relation, or rather even killing the children as soon as they are born. He did not do that because he understood that, okay, although he's a rishi dedicated to the truth, he did not interfere with the divine order of what things is happening. We hear the same logic when so many of the devatas were disturbed because of Kamsa's atrocity, also because of Hiranyakashipu's atrocity, and when all the devatas went to Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, what did he say? That, my dear devatas, currently this is the time of asuras. In this time cycle, the asuric energy is going to rise. So meanwhile, you lay low. Don't engage in any battle just because you are supposed to be a devata. Wait for your time. Right now, it's the asuric time. So lay low. And very soon I am going to appear and then we will take over. So this is a very strategic viewpoint if you see in the grand scheme of things. That all the good qualities and all the bad qualities have their own role to play in this universe. But at the same time, we do not subscribe to the bad qualities. It defines actually that what quality we must not have. That becomes clear by seeing some bad quality. And we also start appreciating the little good things we are able to do. That this is only because of kripa, mercy, and so on. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. It's extremely very rare for someone to come across to read Bhagavatam, very rare someone to even understand it. That verse comes in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschit mam veti tattvata. Amongst those who are very sincere, very sincerely doing things, even amongst those people, those who truly kaschit mam veti tattvata means one who understands me properly, or what we call as bodh, such people are extremely rare. And therefore, for our continuous journey to struggle or pursue Krishna, it is extremely essential that some struggles should be part of our life always. If there is not enough struggle in your life and you feel that my external situation is well settled now, I don't have any more struggle, you should immediately get on doing a bit of austerities, or trying to be more benevolent to the people who are envious to you. Some struggle must exist. You must pick on to a struggle if you do not have any struggle in life left. Make yourself a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not saying that you do unreal austerities. That is not even recommended. Austerity in passion and ignorance. No, that's not the point. But there must be austerity. If you are relaxed, it is just a matter of time. You will fall, you will become envious, you will become greedy, you will become lusty, and you will lose the whole focus. That's the basic idea behind the purpose of why the demons or the demonic energy exists in this universe. So, anyone has any questions or comments? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful class. Very nicely explained about the qualities, means like what is the demonic mentality. Yeah, we have raised hands. Radha Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
So, till what time is this class? I'm sorry, I don't.
We still have half an hour, Prabhu. 25
Okay.
minutes, I want to say precisely.
Yes, please go ahead.
Radha Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, and thank you for allowing me to ask the question. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was first time that I was listening to you. Prabhuji,
You're not audible.
Mataji, we cannot hear you. Devotees.
could you what exactly is in spiritual enviousness?
Hare Krishna Mataji, we were not able to hear you.
Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Now it's audible, Mataji. Yeah, please go ahead.
I was asking about the spiritual enviousness. Sorry. I was just thinking about what exactly goes in spiritual world, because it's a reflection, right? So, and it is deeply cultivated within our heart. So I was just wondering what exactly happens in the spiritual world.
So, actually, there is no envy in spiritual world as we experience in this world. The envy in the spiritual world, the envy in this material world means you want to destroy someone. Actually, extreme appreciation in this world is also a form of envy. When somebody flatters, it's a form of envy. Let's say, for example, when people are fans of a celebrity, that is nothing but a subtle form of envy that, oh, I did not get this, but I'm admiring someone who has this. And I wish I could also someday become like that. Most of the people, when they see a celebrity of any kind, they don't think that I want to serve this person. It's like, that's a desire. ऐसा कैसे लगता होगा ना? How it must be being so special and so on. So that's a kind of envy. So the nature of envy is basically you want to rob, steal, or destroy someone else. Even if you don't want to actively do it, you feel a sense of joy when that person comes down, is brought down in some manner. So that is the nature of the basic swabha of envy, what we say. Now, this kind of envy does not exist in the spiritual world. Of course, in the spiritual world, when you read some kind of literature, so sometimes it is mentioned that Radharani is upset with Krishna in some way, or then she feels that why is this Sakhi getting more attention for something. So there are some instances where it is some things happen like that. But that envy is not wanting to destroy that person in some manner. It is to enhance the love and the attraction. Like two people when they are in love with each other. When we were in college, we we have seen when two people are in love in each other, they try to enhance the love by showing attention to somebody else. Like the girl will come and ask, "तुम क्यों इससे बात कर रहे थे आज?" No, what is it all about? So now she knows that he is not giving special attention to her, but she wants to enhance the attention and pleasure. He will feel insecure. No, why are you, what were you talking to him or something like that? So the idea is not that I want to destroy that person whom you were talking to or something. It's just to show that I'm so uh, possessive about you that I cannot tolerate somebody else. And it's more of an expression trying to show some sense of uh, enhance the loving sentiment. So in spiritual world, it is something like that. So it's an apparent envy, but it's not exactly envy the way it is. In this
And
material world, yes.
Prabhuji, you were talking about Satoguna. When we come to an Satoguna level, or we are doing quite ritual practice, and we are not. We are taking it for granted, like this is what my activities are, or this is what my business is when it comes to my practice. Then you were saying that we become relaxed, and we become offensive, and we sometimes take it very granted, like this is done, or this is what I have done. So in that state of consciousness, we are not aware that this might be happening, like we are doing some offense indirectly or directly. At that state, what we should do, like how we will understand that we are relaxed because we are doing it, and even the practice is not that smooth, like there will be always a struggle, but we don't know now what kind of struggle we are accustomed to, which is like taking some challenges to that struggle, or in higher level of challenge, what it will be like. So could you please explain that, what you were trying?
So when you feel that now you are able to do things easily, that's one thing. And second, whenever you start judging someone that, oh, why आजकल आता नहीं है, ज्यादा नहीं करता है, he or she is not so much sincere as I am. When that feeling comes, you may not speak it out in the open, but it's there. Whenever that slight judgment thing comes in your heart, or if you start feeling a little bit envious or insecure because someone gets more time, attention, or position, or some special thing, one should understand that we have become relaxed. It's not the intensity of external. It's not the what do I say? It is not the volume of the external engagement which determines, or even the fatigue that which determines that whether we are attentive or not. It is the intensity, the nature, the swabhav, that when you do things attentively, you are very careful and conscious also about how your mind and intelligence is working. That's extremely important. Otherwise, what is the point of seva in the whole process? If we, if if association in seva is again leading us to a form of ego and envy and the pride and position and enjoying that I am so and so, then what is the whole point? There's no point. So that is what is called sattvagun. Just being happy with what you are having and thinking that now I must get bhakti to Krishna. No, bhakti of Krishna, you don't need to accomplish many things externally. You can do that. To external accomplishment may be necessary to maintain your house and some social status and all those things. That much is fine, but that is not because I did it keeping in a very ritualistic way, doing spirituality that does not give you Golok Vrindavan or association. That's not. You should read the Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, text number 12.12 to 20, where Krishna says, Sacha me priyaha. Who is dear to me? One who is kind to all living entities, who is merciful to all, uh, one who is not envious of others, one who is not greedy, one who is all those 8 verses. 12th chapter, text number 12 to text number 20. So 12th chapter Bhakti Yoga has only 20 verses. Read the last 8 verses, where every verse ends with Sacha me priya, Sacha me priya, Sacha me priya, and the last one is Sacha me ativa priya. So who is dear to me? In none of that he says one who does service 24 hours, one who eats very less, one who sleeps less, one who speaks a lot of Bhagavatam, one who chants so much. None of these things are told. Idea of reading, chanting, association is that saumyata, that our heart becomes soft, we become more kinder, we become more loving, we become more caring, we become more affectionate, we become less judgmental. That is the idea of that is the basic after effect which should happen because of your sincere chanting, reading, and association. If that does not happen, means something has gone wrong. That means we are doing all these things, but with not with a focus, proper focus.
Yes, Prabhuji. Noted all. Thank you so much for your answer. It's really a huge task to understand, but I'll try my level best. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any
Thank
more
you.
raised hands? Anyone wants to go ahead with any questions or realizations? So, Prabhuji, we don't find any more
Hare
hand
Krishna
raised.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Valli. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It is a very, very wonderful class. Actually, each and every point that you are talking, it is practical and also very much thoughtful, like what we are doing around us. And one question that you made, like why Mohini Murti didn't appear before and why did she come only at the time of nectar, right? So that is very, very important because Devatas and Janvas are fighting from the beginning for everything also. And why it didn't happen, and Krishna actually he is waiting for the right time to appear and the right thing to do also, he knows very well. And the example you gave with the kids, that is also very, very powerful, Prabhuji. That's what we do. We feel like we had a lot of problems and the kids should never face any problems, but having those problems is also very important for them to handle their own situations when they grow up and when we are not
Yes.
around them. So that is very, very important. Thank you, Prabhuji. I don't have any questions, but the class is explaining so clearly that the way of living, how we are doing and how to adjust and how to accommodate others also in our life. So that's very wonderful. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for this, for the very wonderful comment. And any more hand raise or answer questions? How do you handle? Okay, there is a question in the chat box, Prabhu. Janava Mataji is asking, how do you handle very jealous family member who has influence on your partner? Time and time again, if it was proven that this relation destroys, how do we navigate better boundaries and still be true to our bhakti? All advice I have gotten is tolerate, 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 but no one thinks about their mental health.
So I do not personally agree to just tolerating everything unreasonably. Krishna never tells Arjun to simply tolerate things. In fact, he tells him the art of engagement. But when you know that certain engagement is not working and there is a limit to what you can do, then you start applying the tolerating principles. But till that time, engage. So most of the time I've seen that some people who are a bit envious or bullies, basically, those kind of people, when you just retaliate once or twice, then they become silent for life. They become so scared that you call them out. So if you have a family member who is envious and you think that you can call out upon them, just do it once. Now, doing that may not give an immediately solution. It will create a battlefield. वो battle तैयार युद्ध शुरू हो जाता है. So then you'll become like Arjun, oh my God, I don't want to fight. If you want a solution without the bloodshed, it is never going to happen. So whenever you go for the fight, you should keep a time frame that now I'm taking up to this fight. There'll be a counter fight. Then I'll have to do a counter fight. So it may go for another 6 months or 1 year. I should not lay low. I will give a full fight for next 1 or 2 years. So you should at least make 5 to 10 iterations till you feel that your opponent is decimated within the limits. Not that decimated in such a manner that opponent is also dead, you're also dead, and the family member for whose favor you wish, that person is also dead. Not a decimation of that manner. But it will not be a comfortable journey. No battle, no conquest is a comfortable journey, whether you're, if you want to do like a rishi, tolerate. Okay, that is also not a comfortable journey, which you said. What about mental health? So to tolerate an unreasonable situation is not easy. But that's where philosophy comes. Maybe I have been exactly like this with someone in some form of life. If I am a victim of certain circumstances, means because of my loose talks, I would have victimized someone sometime. So it's extremely very important through that to also learn how loose talks impact. When you feel that you have not done something wrong, but something wrong is happening to you. From a karmic perspective, we have contributed to that experience, and that is why it is coming to us. But at the same time, deal with it in a respectful manner. Respectful manner means if a person is envious, call out upon him, pick up phone or take a discussion and say that I do not appreciate this. It may cause you your relationship also. Then you have to bear, you have to pay a price for the peace of mind. Sometimes people want a solution where the person does not know that I fought for it. I should not be in the bad books. Nobody should think bad about me, but my mental health should improve. Everybody should be silent and everybody should become good to me. This is like I will do nothing and all the gifts should come to me. That never happens. Even if you want Amrit, there will be a Sangharsh. At least make sure that the Sangharsh, you are consciously on the right side of the battle. In the in the in our life when we are, there will always be a struggle. I always put one thing: am I on the right side of the battlefield? That is most important. Otherwise, struggle, warfare, bloodshed, everything keeps on happening. In it, the format changes. In Grihastha ashram, it may be different. In Brahmachari ashrams, it is different. But the struggle is there. There is some kind of struggle. And yeah, nothing at the cost of mental health and peace. But then you should be happy with the fight also, right? Sometimes when you begin the fight after 1 or 2 fights, you feel, Jane do bhi, I don't want to fight anymore. It's okay, then you achieved mental peace even by doing, but you need to fight once or twice to be peaceful for not fighting. So those things are there. So sit and think over it, that how you want to take this struggle forward. It's not about external conquest. It's only about your mental health, what you said. It's a very nice word. So ultimately, if you are peaceful not fighting, then you have succeeded. And if you are peaceful after fighting, then also you have succeeded. But you are not peaceful with the fight, you are failed, and you are not peaceful, not fighting, then also you have failed. So
Prabhu,
better, huh?
Thank you so much for such a refreshing answer. I offer my humble obeisances to you because I feel like you're the only one who's given me a non-generic Vaishnav advice that I feel like doesn't make me feel bad or doesn't make shame me, because I feel like your answer is so practical, because the most advice I've gotten is like, oh, tolerate, tolerate. It must be you. You don't have enough tolerance. You need more purification. It's almost like a bit gaslighting. Here you are having
Yeah,
a hard
that.
time, having a hard time. Your mental health's about to fall down and you're being abused. And then they say you're not purified enough or something, something. And then therefore you must tolerate some more. I feel like sometimes they're using the scripture or
Yeah.
philosophy, and then I feel like it's a bit misguided. And then
Yes.
and then I think to myself, what about Prabhupada said, time, place, and consideration?
Hmm. Hmm.
So sometimes certain people confuse me. So I do appreciate your very, very wise and practical advice that I feel like I'm really getting for you. So Prabhuji, thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wish you the best in your struggle. Make it auspicious. Don't run away from it.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for I think that was really a very practical answer. Of course, as Mataji said, whatever when we do, the advice we get is always tolerate, tolerate, tolerate. But at last, it's we who are getting affected, and we are not able to do our practice also in a proper, peaceful way. So, as you said, so once in a while we'll have to open out. So, and even so whenever it is possible, we'll have to take a stand on the point where we have to argue. So it's not that every time we are doing, but at right time, we'll have to give up and make stand for that so that we will get peaceful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that very wonderful reply. So, dear devotees, any more questions or realizations? I do not see any more hand raised, Prabhu, or questions in the chat box.
Okay.
So, with your permission, we can end the call here. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful association and
Thank you.
very class. Talking about the enviousness and the tolerance. Thank you so much. And dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances. We want your association in future, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpa tirupita kripa sindhu.
Namo
Ananta
Namo.
Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Jagannath Priya Prabhuji ki jai.
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 Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Jai
Thank
Shri Radhe.
Gauranga
you so much, dear devotees,
Nityananda.
for joining. Hare Krishna.